you're basically, all of your films are New York films.
Yeah, we can't get away.
Yeah. And I just associate you so much with New York. What are your favorite New York movies? What are they, like, if you're gonna like turn people on to what New York is like from a New Yorker's perspective, people all over the country might watch this and they might never come to New York, and maybe they don't want to come run into the New York that you know and love. But if you're gonna be like, what are the great New York movies to you?
Oh, I think you have to put, I mean, Lumet in general, but you have to put Dog Day Afternoon on there.
Sidney Lumet.
Sidney Lumet for sure.
I think we just literally went over.
I like. There's
crazy
a movie that shows New York in a cool way that no one talks about. Paid in Full. It's a movie that takes place in Harlem. The Cameron is in. It shows Harlem in a really cool way. So does Juice, actually. I'd say Kramer vs. Kramer is a great New York film.
Cops and Robbers, you know, that's an unbelievable one because there's a moment in that that's, I won't actually, it's a very good, it's a very New York from a sidewalk level. And same thing for Super Cops, the Super Cops.
I think obviously Scorsese's entire filmography.
It's funny because there's certain ones that you know are like New York.
It's tough because people
it's hard to say Mean Streets if you're, it's like saying, what's your favorite movie, Citizen Kane?
Exactly.
Mean Streets is also like, the cool thing about Mean Streets is it was mostly shot in L.A. All the interiors are all in L.A. But it's the people. It's the, you can cast, you can get the setting through the cast. And you know, all the stuff on the streets.
King of New York is a very good, there's pieces of King of New York
is great. Bad Lieutenant is also a great one. Ferrera is obviously.
Well, yeah, I mean, you had him
in Daddy Long, but we cast him as a robber. I'm trying to think of other New York
The Hot Rock.
Hot Rock's a good one.
The thing is, I like New York.
I like this New York series a lot. Like, it's a lot of surprising choices.
There's something about like when
Taxi Driver. It's obvious, but you have to because it's such a. So is King of New York and After Hours.
Yeah.
Also, you know, Taxi Driver. What I love is like one of the most
King of comedies.
Voluptuous images in Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah.
Is the steam coming up?
Oh my God.
That doesn't happen. Like,
even then it does. And it's like
every once in a while. But you know, like checker cabs.
Yes.
Like there's always
and the score. The score
the,
is such a New York. I mean, Herman really nailed New York as it's imagined now in a postcard. But what, you know, that film then is that there's certainly not.
Because the question is it New York now or New York then is the question.
Angelo, My Love, the Robert Duvall film about the gypsies. Yeah, that's a cool one. Here you go. Now that I have right here, I can read this to you.
We did have, because we just actually did a very strange podcast.
I'll read this to you because this will be good for the.
It was just
what is the
freeform lightning round.
No, we did with Nick Pinkerton. We did like an hour of New York,
and it was just like bam, bam, bam. It was just like.
Let me read to you this instead.
So this is a setup.
But the list is crazy.
This is set up.
No, this is. I'll show it to the camera. Here it is. Boom. So that's what it looks like. So I wrote here. I'll just read them.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver,
yeah.
Saturday Night Fever, see, we would have forgotten, 9.5 Weeks, Kramer vs. Kramer, Kids, amazing New York film, Panic in Needle Park, Death Wish, Across 110th Street, Dog Day Afternoon, Broadway Danny Rose, Bad Lieutenant, King of New York, Cruising, French Connection, Juice, Lords of Flatbush, Gloria, After Hours, Rosemary's Baby, On the Bowery, some great New York documentation.
We're also forgetting the...
Cops and Robbers, Tootsie, Midnight Cowboy, Angel My Love, King of the Gypsies, The Incident. It's a very cool movie.
I don't know The Incident.
The Incident is with...
Beau Bridges and then also Tony Musante.
Tony Musante. It takes place on a subway. It's kind of like a B-movie.
I love Tony Musante.
He
was Toma.
He
creates such a sense of unease on that train, and it's all about like, what do you do when that happens on a subway car?
He died.
It's actually very important.
6 years ago?
We met him like 2
We
weeks
met him
before he
outside
died.
of a coffee shop.
Really?
Yeah, I have a picture of him. I was like, Tony Musante. He's like,
I was always like, you know, when Beretta came on, I was like, that's just like a knockoff of Toma. But I just aged myself because clearly I remember when Beretta came on.
Came out, okay.
Yes.
Let's see what else I have here. I have I have Do the Right Thing. You know,
Yes,
it's a Shadows is a great.
Midnight Cowboy.
I already said Midnight Cowboy.
Okay.
The Connection.
Oh, David Holzman's Diary.
David Holzman's Diary. Stranger Than Paradise, but then it becomes into like Ohio. Goodfellas, but it's more of a Long Island movie. Basquiat, I think, is a cool New York film. The Warriors. Breakfast at Tiffany's. Children of Times Square. 3 Days of the Condor. Liquid Sky, that's a really cool New York film.
Yeah.
They All Laughed is a good one.
The Landlord.
Oh, The Landlord.
Little Murders. Fingers.
Yeah, Little Murderers. Is a great
Downtown
subway scene.
81.
Okay.
A great subway scene in Little Murderers.
The Wanderers. Wild Style. Network.
So
Sorry.
we now have officially
Wall Street.
Safdie's curated New York series program. Anytime we want, we've got that in our pocket.
There's
Let's
more.
actually get into it.